So all week long, the Nasdaq is where the action has been. But of course, we've already said, you look under the hood, even there, we've seen a massive bloodbath. Money is just rotating out of almost all of these names, whether they're on the Nasdaq, whether they're in these blue chip names, and they keep finding themselves into these same names. So some people think maybe
a stronger bond.
So all week long, the Nasdaq is where the action has been. But of course, we've already said, you look under the hood, even there, we've seen a massive bloodbath. Money is just rotating out of almost all of these names, whether they're on the Nasdaq, whether they're in these blue chip names, and they keep finding themselves into these same names. So some people think maybe it's time to go bottom fishing. Let's find out right now from Ken Mahoney and Michael Lee. And Ken, I want to start with you. You know, listen, the 10-year yield is down again. Energy stocks are down. Financials are down. These are niches that became really Wall Street favorites since early this year when the 10-year spiked. Everyone said you had to be in them. So maybe do you buy them on weakness here?
I don't think so. I don't like bottom fishing. In fact, I actually like, chasing stocks, if you will, going to leaders. Actually, we have a new ad this week I want to share. That's ZIM, symbol Z-I-M, ZIM Shipping. And if you think about, we have a little logistical problem, Charles, just a little problem, transitory problem. Well, this company's going to clean that up, I think. Because last quarter, they did as much revenue as they've done 3 years combined together. Right. Now, again, last couple of days, it broke out, it squatted, broke out, squatted. It looks a lot better today. And I think, again, I think a lot of people should look at this. We're in a second or third inning, probably, of this logistical nightmare. This is one of the companies I believe that's going to clean up this mess.
Cool. And I love when you say it broke out, pulled back, tested former resistance, that support a couple of times, held. That right. Is that from a technical point of view, that is a massive buy signal. You know, Mike, speaking of bottom fishing, you could argue buying Facebook on weakness, that's a form of bottom fishing, and I know that's one of the names you like here, right?
Yeah, so Facebook and Amazon, these big tech names, but my favorite name continues to be NVDA. And I just like to say it's not only me that's liked it. You've been championing this name for a long time. So again, just another one where people listen to you. They've made an absolute ton of money. But look, I think there's very limited downside to the overall markets right now with the sheer amount of cash that's sidelined. And so these big tech names, these big staple names, I don't know that I call them a flight to safety, but you're kind of left with very few other places to go. And the reason why these companies are so big and their stocks are doing so well is because they're the ones growing, they're the ones taking market share, they're the ones coming up with new products. So that's where I'm looking right now.
Another issue, and then, one of the reasons energy is the biggest loser today, this COVID situation. We know all that interrupts global economies, and oil seems to be a proxy for that. I want to get your sense, how much, Ken, of a risk do you think COVID is right now? I'd already spoken earlier in the show that I kind of ignored Delta. You saw it coming. You saw the news out of Europe. Like, we had a chance to make adjustments in our portfolio. I really did not. And a lot of people are wondering, should they this time? Do you buy a Zoom and sell Caesars, for instance?
Look, I don't know about that, but you're right. That is the number one concern. Look overnight, Charles. So we come in, Austria goes in full lockdown mode. There's other countries around Europe, around Austria, that are talking about that. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that again. Look, the biggest tell for us, Charles, is actually be watching the VIX very quickly. If you saw what happened last time, March of 2020, the VIX started going crazy to the upside, and it was kind of a precursor to what's going to happen next. So I'm keeping my eye on that because that's where institutions will rush for some type of protection should this get out of hand.
What's the number on the VIX? What number should our audience know?
Yeah, right now. Yeah, so we have a 17, 18 handle right now. It breaks the trend, the downward trend, around 22. So gets around 22, 23. Yeah, It takes some tips off the table, starts spiking from there. Guess what? We're back to risk off once again.
Let me ask you, Mike, about Bitcoin. It's coming down a lot. There's some stuff in this new bill that doesn't help. But I think anyone who's been in it for a long time should be accustomed to these sort of swings, right? To me, 20% drawdown on Bitcoin or any crypto is just another day, and just another day. But is there something special we should know there right now? Or any concerns for you?
Yeah, look, if you're a day-to-day crypto trader, you got to love this volatility, all right? I am not. If you either believe that the fiat currency is losing, the people are losing confidence in fiat currency, and Bitcoin is the first mover, best way to play against that. And so my advice to people that is just to acquire pieces over time. You want to buy on weakness, you want a dollar cost average in. If you look at the chart of Bitcoin in 2017 and the chart in 2021, they're eerily similar. With that, you'd expect a massive upside move into Bitcoin. I mean, the history of the asset is you get a 50% retracement and then a triple from the previous all-time high.
Right.
We'll see if we follow through on that, but like if you're a Bitcoin believer, I'd always be adding on weakness.
Well, I opened my Coinbase account last week. I got 100 grand in there, and I'm licking my chops because I'd like to buy it on the dip. I've missed a lot of them, to your point. Hey, you are two of the best. By the way, folks, both of these guys love NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA. That kind of makes me nervous, but I wouldn't sell it. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you, have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks,
All right, I'm going to hand it over to Liz Clayman.